Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from amandacrochets.com, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the closed shell stitch. This is a different variation on the shell stitch, so I just wanted to make this easy beginner tutorial so you can understand how to make this beautiful shell stitch. This is just a one row repeat, and all you do is alternate double crochets and single crochets. So if you know the basics, you can definitely make this pattern. So follow along and I will show you exactly how to make this closed shell stitch step by step. I hope you enjoy today's tutorial. So for today's tutorial, you're going to need some worsted weight yarn. You can use any worsted weight yarn that you would like. If you would also like to use a thicker, bulkier weight yarn or a thinner, lightweight yarn, you can definitely do that as well. But I'm just going to be using some yarn that I found in my stash, and this is the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted yarn. And this is a number 4 medium, and if you want, this is the hook size that they recommend, which is a US I9 or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Now if you're going to use different yarn than I am, then I would just look on your yarn label and use the recommended hook size that they recommend. So I'm just going to be using my I 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and again, use any yarn that you would like. So to begin your closed shell stitch, you're going to make a chain that is a multiple of 6 plus 1. That means you're going to take the number 6 and multiply it by any number that you would like. And once you are happy with the width of your project, you can add one more chain to the very end. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and chain 19. So that's 6 times 3, which is 18, plus 1, which is 19. So to make a chain, you're going to yarn over your hook and pull through that loop on your hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and make your chain either 19 chains long or as long as you would like, and I will meet up with you at the end and show you how to continue onto row 1. Okay, so I have my chain of 19. Again, if you wanted to make your chain a different size, you want to have it in a multiple of 6 plus 1. Next, you're going to make 2 double crochets into the 4th chain from your hook. So the loop on your hook does not count, and you're going to count 4 chains from your hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in that 4th chain, you're going to make 2 double crochets. So yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that completes your double crochet. Now you're going to yarn over and you're going to make one more double crochet into that same chain space. So yarn over, insert your hook into that same chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this completes your first shell. Next, you're going to skip 2 chains and you're going to make 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So skip 2 chains, 1 and 2, and in the stitch after that, make a single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that is your single crochet. Now this is where we start the repeat, so you're going to skip 2 chains and you're going to make 4 double crochets into the next stitch. So again, make sure you don't miss any chains. So how you can tell is you can look at the stitch that you just worked in and it's a little bit bigger, so you do not want to count that as a chain. So you're going to go into the very next one. So 1, and 2, you're going to skip those 2, and in the stitch after that, make 4 double crochets, all in that same chain space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that completes your shell. Again, you're going to skip 2 chains and you're going to make a single crochet into the next. So skip 2 chains, 1 and 2, and make a single crochet into that next stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then you're just going to repeat that until you get to the end of the row. So again, skip 2 chains, and in the chain after that, make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so when you get to the end of your row, you should have 3 chains left, and you're going to skip 2 chains and work a single crochet into the very end. So you should always end with that single crochet for your first row. So skip 2 chains and put a single crochet in the very end. Now if you are an absolute beginner, I highly suggest getting a stitch marker and putting it in the very last stitch, so that single crochet that we just made, and going back to the beginning, those 3 skip chains that you made at the beginning of your row, you're going to count up 3 chains, so 1, 2, and 3, and in the top of that chain 3, that's where you're going to put your other stitch marker. So as you work up more rows, you're just going to make sure that you move your stitch marker to the very first stitch and in the very last stitch of each row, so that way you can keep track and your end will be straight. Okay, so again, you just repeat that all the way down until you get to the end, and then you make sure that you have a single crochet in your last stitch. So to move on to row 2, you're going to chain up 3 and turn your work. So for row 2, you're going to make 2 double crochets in the first single crochet. So your chain 3 is going to count as a double crochet. So you're going to add 2 more double crochets right into that very first stitch, which is that single crochet from the previous row. So 1 and 2 double crochets. Next, you're going to skip 2 stitches and you're going to make 1 single crochet in between the second and the third double crochet of your shell stitch. So when you look at your shell stitch, you have the 4 stitches, and you're going to skip the very first 2, and you're going to go right in the center of that shell stitch. So you're going to go underneath, in between those stitches, and make your single crochet. Next, you're going to skip the remaining 2 stitches, so those 2 double crochets of your shell stitch, and you're going to find the next stitch, which is your single crochet from the previous row, and you're going to make 4 double crochets in that single crochet. So skip 2 stitches, and in the stitch after that, make 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're just going to repeat this all the way to the end. So again, you're going to skip 2 stitches, and in between your shell stitch, you're going to have those 4 double crochets, in between the second and the third double crochet, you're going to go in between the stitches and underneath the top loops and make your single crochet. Again, skip 2 stitches, and in the stitch after that, make 4 double crochets. Okay, when you get to the end of your row, you're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the top of that chain 3 from the very beginning, you're going to make one single crochet in the top of that chain 3. So here is what 2 rows looks like after you complete. So this shell stitch pattern is a little bit more closed, and I do have a scarf tutorial with this exact stitch, so if you are interested in checking that out, I will go ahead and leave a link below in the description box. Next, you're going to chain 3 and turn, and for row 3 you are just going to continue with repeating row 2 over and over again until your desired length. So again, for row 3, you're going to repeat row 2. So again, that chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, and you're going to make 2 double crochets in that very first stitch. So 1 and 2. Next, you're going to skip 2 double crochets, and in between that second and third double crochet of your shell stitch, you're going to work in between the stitches and make a single crochet. You're going to skip 2 double crochets, and in the stitch after that, you're going to make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, skip 2 stitches, and in between the second and third stitch of your shell stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. Skip 2 stitches, and in the stitch after that, make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Finally, when you get to the very end, you're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the top of that chain 3, you're going to count up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and in the top of that chain 3, you're going to make a single crochet. So this is the closed shell stitch, and again, you're just going to repeat row 2 over and over again to get your desired length, and you're always going to make that single crochet in between the second and third stitches of your shell stitch. So this is just a different variation on the shell stitch. There are so many different ways to make the shell stitch. This is just one of the ways that I learned, and I do have another shell stitch tutorial where I show you how to do 5 double crochets as your shell, and like I said, this is just a different variation on the shell stitch. So whatever version you prefer, this might be a little bit easier to learn than the other shell stitch, but they're both very pretty and I really like them a lot. And I've used both this closed shell stitch as well as the other shell stitch for various projects and patterns, so definitely very fun and easy to make. So again, just repeat row 2 over and over again to get your desired length, and that is what the closed shell stitch looks like. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on learning how to make the closed shell stitch. I hope you give this pattern a try. You can make this for blankets, you can make this for dishcloths, you can make this for scarves. The possibilities are really endless with this. So I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Now it's time to like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And as always, happy crocheting! Bye!